Well, I thought I'd do another of these talks inspired by the tarot. And I suppose I'm sort of being true to my word, and that is that I haven't planned this at all. I'm just completely following the tarot. And it's led to some real unexpected results. Things have been going quite well until now, but this one's thrown a bit of a googly at me. But I hope you enjoy it. Before I launch into it, maybe I should explain that this doesn't have a timestamp on it. Whenever you access it is a good time. And it is just a talk, so it's not about your particular horoscope sign, it's about the whole of humanity. As I say, I'm no longer even specifying what I want to talk about. I'm just allowing the energies to come through. And the energy has you, and I think when I say you, I probably mean us, because we're probably talking of humanity here. So it's like a collective thing. But quietly thinking things over. And there's no harm in doing that. You might be missing out on some opportunities. Certainly the past, as so often has been in my little talks, you see as a golden age when you were blessed with many things, including money, families. Everything seemed wonderful and happy. But now there's arguments again. Now, I thought arguments were a thing of the past because a cycle had ended and a new one's begun. But no, we have arguments here, misunderstandings. Look, like us all, well, I mean, this is we anyway, isn't it? So, but we do have great hope. A good many of us feel reborn. But what looks to be derailing it, this conflict, we have more deception. And now I've told you all along that those responsible for lying, cheating, the greed, they're going to get their karmic response from the universe, God, Allah, whatever you want to see it as. And that's going to happen. You don't need to get involved. But what I've been getting recently is a little warning that maybe we are all going to be punished, a little. And also blessed as well, don't get me wrong. But a little bit of punishment because of we were all a part of what went on. We all were cogs in the machine. And if we accept that, and accept our guilt and our punishment, then we've got nothing to worry about. But you are very worried, or we are very worried. I don't know if we're worried that the world is slipping back to how it was because of we've got this conflict and deception, or if we're worried about the karmic justice. I really don't know at this stage. But let's look at each of these cards individually. Overall, this sees you, or sees us, trying to work things out, looking for answers internally. So many things have been happening that don't seem rational, and they're probably not. Don't seem explainable. And of course, what's happened is that one epoch, paradigm has ended and a new one's begun with completely different rules. And none of us have fully caught up with how we should be behaving within this new paradigm. So it's a good thing to go a little bit of soul searching, a little bit of reflecting on what's happened. We shouldn't be looking backwards. But we can reflect on what's happened. We can reflect on where we think things are going. but I don't think any of us know fully. And in doing so, in this sort of soul searching, we are in danger of missing out on opportunities. But then maybe that's necessary. Maybe we need this focus and this clarity that comes from this introspection. But it's a time of introspection. After I felt that such times had passed and we'd now be getting on with the new paradigm, with a new way of living. But no, I mean, this isn't necessarily depression at all. It's just going inside yourself and looking at things, which, as I say, is admirable. But I just did expect us to be further along at this moment in time. I think what's holding us all back is we're focusing on the past. Not unnaturally, we see the past as a better time, a time when there was more money about, a time when we had happy families, a time when we felt blessed, a time when we felt in control, a time when we felt that we knew our destiny, that our lives were planned out, and we were happy going along with that. And all that seems to have been destroyed. So I can understand people looking to the past. But until we release the past, then the new bounty cannot be released to us. So there's no point in focusing on the past. And we need to release it, and we need to submit to the universe, to God, to Allah. But we must submit now, not try and pull things back to how they were, however much we miss them. And I've said this many times, but I'm sure objectively the past was a better time. But we can't mourn the past. We live in a new age now, and we have to embrace it. I think one of the things that's still jarring us is there's still a lot of conflict in the world. This new epoch is one of love and understanding. So why is there still conflict? Well, its antecedents are deep-rooted. These conflicts have been created many years ago. Conflicts created partially as distractions for us, partly to get us riled up and not notice what really was going on. Bread and circuses, if you like. And we thought they'd just go away, but they haven't. Not least because, a part of these conflicts was to divide us, into tribes that we feel that we have to protect. You may know that I often get in arguments with fellow Muslims about my faith, and they seem to think that their branch of Islam is like supporting Man United. And I should know because I support Manchester City, but religion isn't like that at all. It's not something that you support, it's not something that you create clans and tribes within to spread hatred towards other people. That's the opposite of what all religions should be, and I think you're just thinking, shouldn't this have ended by now? Shouldn't things be better? Well, I think the message from this spread is it's going to take time. The remnants of the old world will still be there. It's going to take time, but put your faith in God and things will be all right. some of us already feel like we're reborn. Some of us already are full of hope. But I think this feeling is going to come to everybody in the future. We just need to give things time. And I think that's it, we're all anxious for this change now. So when we see elements of the past still existing, still upsetting us, if you like, then, we get further away from this hope, this rebirth. But it is there. It's there for us all, I promise you it's there. Things really have changed, and you are a part of this change. Very much so. And if you remember, I said that you were getting frustrated that elements of the past are still here. And there was conflict. Well, worse than that, there is still deception. I think these are tests for us. Tests for us from the universe, God, Allah, so that we should truly move on. That we're not just embracing love, understanding, compassion, because we think we will be rewarded for it. But we're doing it through true conviction. There always are these tests. There always are these tests. But there seems to be occurring now. And it's quite pernicious because, there's both conflict and now there is more deceit. I don't know, maybe they don't even get away with this deceit. I was aware of one coming up in September and it didn't seem to stick. There seems to be an awareness that humanity has sussed a lot of what's going on and won't let it happen, and maybe that's all this is telling us. But I do see it as a test for us. I do see it as a test. It's something that is designed to see our reaction, and hopefully our reaction isn't a hostile one, but it's one of understanding, it's one of submission to the universe and what's happening. And as if to say to me, the energies in the tarot, as if to say to me, yes, you're right, the energies in the tarot have now come up with judgment. It's a day of judgment. And as I've been saying all along, those who've been greedy, those who've manipulated, lied, they will get their punishment from the universe, God, Allah. And it's coming. I mean, some of them have already been punished, as you'll be only too well aware. But for those who haven't, leave it in the hands of God. So this was a test, so that you didn't rise to it. You didn't rise to this continued provocation. Because many of these who are committing these things will be members of the dark triad, psychopaths, narcissists, Machiavellians. And certainly for narcissists, they'll be completely unaware of what they're doing and that what they're doing is wrong. The truth is they simply don't think like us. Now that doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't be cautious of them, exclude them from high office, or exclude them from where they can do damage. Whereas in the past, all we've done is promote them to those positions. But don't seek retribution, nor even really judge them, for that's Allah's domain. No, that's why this test was sent. And to a certain degree, you might like to see this test as your own judgment and retribution. For we've all been a part of this system that has created this monster that came so close to destroying humanity. We've all played our minor part, and we do need this sort of self-assessment, this repentance. We do need to accept our part and accept our punishment for it. But we're all going to be blessed, so blessed as well. We just need to keep faith and make the move. And not unnaturally, some of us are worried. In fact, maybe we're all a little bit worried because of we still have conflict, we still have betrayal, we still have manipulation. And we thought by now it would be over. Maybe we're worried at our own punishment through the judgment. But there's nothing really to be worried about. We need to keep faith. We need to understand that a cycle has ended. A new one's begun. It's a new age. It's an age of love. It's an age of compassion. It's an age of working together. And if we can understand that the old greed, rampant sort of individualism, manipulation, lies, complete destruction of the truth, judgment, censorship, punishment. We don't need any of it. All of it can be swept aside if we can change our views and change how we behave. But yeah, there are some difficult times ahead of us. Up until now, when I've been doing these little talks, I've been encouraging people to change, because Jerusalem is here on earth for us. And we can create it simply through the way we think and the way we behave, through raising our vibrations. But this particular reading has reminded me that there will be challenges. It won't necessarily be that easy for us. And we need to keep faith, because we have so much to gain. We really do.